thing that didn't bite me first.
In this painting, I was thinking in terms of combining candy.
I will if you make it first.
My name is Gary Gaydos, manager of the Florissant Civic Center Theater.
Hi, my name's Gary Gaydos, manager of your Florissant Civic Center Theater, and welcome to another edition of On Cue. For those of you who haven't been with us before, let me remind you, this is our once-a-month look behind the scenes. We take a peek and we tell you stories about things that you wouldn't know about normally, and hopefully they'll entice you to visit the beautiful Florissant Civic Center Theater owned by the City of Florissant. I have two great guests with me on the next upcoming production presented by the Hawthorne Players in the month of November here at the theater. Trish Nelke, the ever jovial voice and face of the theater at our main box office facility, and my erstwhile administrative assistant, is appearing in the next show. Trish, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And Dan Dachroeden, kind of a newbie to our community here, and the on stage one especially. Dan, welcome.
Thank you, Gary.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, this is going to be something of a not a first for you, but a second. This is your second starring role almost, right? We've seen you recently in a wonderful show.
Yes. This time last year, I was on stage in Mornings at 7 with the Hawthorne Players, and I played
Nice.
Myrtle Brown.
It was very nice.
Thank you.
And you decided to do it again to yourself.
Yes.
This is great.
Yes.
Did you want to major, Trish, in this when you went to school?
Yes, I did.
You
I
went
was
to
a theater
school
major, yes.
for acting.
Yes, I did.
This is great. You get to not only work behind the scenes and sell the tickets, but you get to be on stage. Would you rather be a director or an actor, really?
Acting's my first love.
Is it really?
Directing's a close second. But
Where'd
yes.
you go to school to learn this?
I went to DeSales University, which is in Pennsylvania.
Wow, how wonderful. Do they have a theater department there of some note in,
Yes.
in the local area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Big theater department there.
What was your favorite role when you were there at DeSales?
My favorite role was Cinderella in Into the Woods.
How wonderful, yeah, that's a great show. I could see you doing that. That'd be great. And Dan, you're kind of a newbie to our stage. It's your first Hawthorne production.
Yes, sir, it is.
A great one to start out with, a Pulitzer Prize winning show. Mm-hmm. Did you go to school to learn to do this, or is it innate? Do you just have...
I went to CBC High School, and
Great.
Tom Murray was my acting teacher, drama teacher.
Now, he's not there anymore, or is he just...
Oh,
recently?
he's still there.
I'll
I
be
believe
darned.
so.
Isn't that
Yes.
something?
Long time. He's
Yeah.
a fixture. In the St. Louis area, he's done over 100 plays.
So that's where the bug bit you?
I would say so. He got me into it. I was a sports person playing football. Got my leg broke for me my sophomore year, and he came out the next year and said, "Well, why don't you come audition for a play?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, Tom. You know, this is kind of weird. You know, I never."
Well, you had
did it
nothing going
before."
on anyway. Right?
Yeah. Well, I was
Healing.
and so the funny thing is, it's an all-male school,
Sure.
and I walked into the audition and looked in. There was about 40 girls sitting in there at the audition room. I'm about 16 years old, going, "I think I can make this work. I think I could do this."
You nailed it.
So, gave me a small part, and then senior year I did more, and then I got a scholarship to Fontbonne University. That's where I started off,
great.
studying theater first couple of years, and then I bounced around a little bit and ended up at UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City. They had a big theater program.
They have a great one there, yeah.
And then I was lucky enough to get into Penn State University, the MFA program there in acting. And that was a 3-year program, so I finished that back in the early 90s. So I was heavily into it.
Which campus for Penn State? The one at
The main campus in State College.
Wow.
Yeah, right in the middle of the state.
you're in my neck of the
middle
woods.
nothing.
There you go.
Yeah, when you said that, I thought, oh,
Pennsylvania area, so you do have something in common.
Yep.
Well, that's great that you've auditioned and come out again to share your talents with the community here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
This is a tough one. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but we're here to convince you that The Rabbit Hole, which is the upcoming production, is not about always what it seems to be. Sometimes it's really about people and about growing, and sometimes growing in a family situation is kind of rough. It won the Pulitzer Prize. Do you think it won it because of the topic, because of the topic? It's a family that's lost a child, basically.
Yes.
is the real core of the story.
Well, I think the writing itself, because it is such a real play, I mean, it's about a family, and they're grieving, but there's also a lot of funny moments in it, like a normal family would have.
Yeah.
So I think that really contributed to its winning the Pulitzer Prize. It's a very real story. It's not melodramatic, it's not over the top. It just...
Something that nobody could ever imagine happening to them, though, in their life.
Right.
And in the flash of an instant, an accident happens, and they lose their child. Is it more difficult, Dan, do you think, for the husband or the wife to come to grips with it in this play?
Well, that may depend on whether it's a boy or a girl, the child, but I think the show proves that it's such a delicate balance between how people grieve and how they fall over the edge, over the cliff. And I think that's what the beauty of this show is. It's, you know, we may or may not know people, but we've all heard stories of people who are in perfectly good marriages that lose a child, and the marriage just falls apart because of the communication problems or grief, whatever it is, whatever they're going through, it just tears them apart. And it's really beautifully represented in the show.
So it's not always about mourning, the show isn't. It's about positivity. I mean, it's about some positive experiences.
About hope.
About hope for the future. There's an outsider that caused this accident. It was a human being in back of the accident. And you get to interact with that person in the play.
Yes.
That's a tough role to be in, too. Who is playing that role? Have we seen them on stage before?
Yes, I believe he was in A Christmas Carol, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a younger person.
Yes.
And it's a car accident. Is there I guess is there a whole religious theme underlying to forgiveness, or how does that enter in where that character comes into the show?
I don't really. I mean,
There's a little bit of that, but it's really more about how the mother and the father choose, you know, the path they choose to deal with their grief. You know, Howie likes to talk, so he's big into the support groups and things along those lines. You know, he just likes to, you know, and even though it may not actually be leading him to the path that he needs to be to really accept this tragedy in his life, that's the path he's chosen. And you know, and it's different for Becca. She's not, you know, the big talker about it. She's kind of internalizing things at this time. So when you have those two different diametrically opposed forces, there's going to be tension. There's going to be problems.
There are other members of your family who are in the show too, who get involved with you. Are they helpful?
well, Becca doesn't think so.
They've had some what they consider parallel experiences even, right?
Yes, yes.
But it's not really a valid experience so much, or where do they fall short?
It's hard to relate. They try to relate, and they're just on totally different planes.
But they're trying to be helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. Who are the other characters in your family that are played? Would we know any of them?
My sister Izzy is played by Denise Chappell,
Okay.
who has been on the stage a few times for Hawthorne. And Linda Levy-Clark is playing my mother, Nat. So
great.
She's been on stage at the Civic Center Theater also.
That's great. And the director?
Ken Clark.
Oh boy,
Yes.
he's good too.
Yes, he is.
Ken is also an officer in the group in the Hawthorne Players.
Yes.
How was the audition for this? Was it a rough audition? Did you have to promote and get into
It was for me. I don't know.
Was it
I was
really?
very nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, I was petrified.
Yeah, I was
Truly.
very nervous.
I hadn't been on stage in a long time reading with anyone, and so, you know, I just wondered, am I even going to be able
You did all
to
right.
get the words out? You know, but it was. I think Ken set it up very well. We didn't use any really powerful scenes. He just wanted to see how people get up there, you know, and interact with each other.
As a family. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he did a good job.
The part of Becca was up for and nominated for the Best Actress in a Play Award and actually won it.
Yes.
You know, and
Big shoes to
that
fill.
doesn't put much pressure on you.
No, not
but that was the Tony Award. It was also up for and won Best Drama, didn't it?
I know it was nominated for.
Yeah, it was nominated. I think that it actually was a winner for the. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I guess you're right. It only won Best Actress, as a matter of fact. But
It just got a Pulitzer, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah, well, you know, the Pulitzer's wonderful.
You know.
It's an okay play.
And neither one of you were familiar with it before?
No, not really.
You know,
Not
just
at all.
Cold readings and all that, but you were driven to read it just before
Oh, yes.
the audition. Would you, what period is it going to be set in? Is it really like today, now?
No, we turned the clock back a little bit.
Where are you at?
Late 90s.
Late 90s, okay, yeah. And it opened in 2006, so I guess that would be typical of what they had planned for the show itself. It didn't run very long on Broadway, which is surprising, though. Even though it was up and won a Tony, you never know why that happens, you know. I would say that, if anything, it's probably an important piece for anybody who's in any family situation, because it's going to touch all of us. Life and death are part of, you know, the general run-of-the-mill things. Would you say it's good for any age group and any and children? Can they come to this?
No.
No, I wouldn't bring. I wouldn't
No.
bring little children. No.
Okay.
No.
There are,
But young adults.
yeah,
I mean,
there are some
teenagers.
there's a bit of mature language in it, and I think that's
So-
just representative of life and
Right.
what they've been through and what's going on right now with them. You know, it's not like the play takes place immediately after the tragic accident. I mean, it's 8 months later when we pick up. So there's been a lot of time for all the crying and the sobbing and the wailing. That's all pretty much gone. This is now dealing with the reality of the situation. And there are a lot of funny moments. I mean, it's not just crying and wailing. There are some really comedic moments. Linda Levy Clark, as her mother, has just some of the greatest speeches, and when I read it, it reminded me of, you know, the Greeks used to have these huge theater festivals that lasted all day, and they were all into it. All the people were gathered in the amphitheater, and you've got all this tragedy going on, and people were wailing and having, they're about ready to commit suicide, and then they would bring out these satyr plays or whatever, and they'd run around and do all this comedy, and that made the people laugh again. And that's kind of reminds me what this play is like. You go through some tough moments, some realistic moments, and then suddenly you get these bright, shiny laugh lines, and I think it really helps the audience, helps them along.
Yeah, they shouldn't be afraid to laugh.
Okay,
It-
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to
They
know.
They should
yeah.
definitely
Nobody
know
needs
they
to
can
feel
laugh.
awkward during a tragedy.
Right.
Yeah, it's not always that. Did you, when you studied, did you want to be an actor when you took your studies, or did you want to get into some other branch of theater when you got into your theater studies?
No, I definitely want to be an actor. No, all the way through it. And as I get older, I think, well, directing is kind of fun too. I'd like to try that sometime
Yeah.
also, with a full production. I've done smaller things, but with a full production, I think it would be a good challenge.
Well, you may be in the right place at the right time. Ken Clark is a great scenic designer. Is he picking up the set for this too?
Yes.
Or- yeah.
Yes.
See, that was,
Looking forward to
I
seeing it.
had no idea. It was telepathic. And then costumes again, are they designed by someone particular?
Gene Heckman
Yeah,
is
she
doing
does a great
costumes,
job.
Yes.
So Jeannie will be back on the scene there. Interior set, I imagine, changes during the show itself? Does it transform the scene? Not really?
No, not really. No, because
set,
it's all on stage, all the rooms. It's a really neat set. It's multi-level.
So it's about hope, though.
Yes.
Good.
About hope.
We have hope that we can come and see it. Tell us the days and times. I bet you've memorized these, Trish.
The Rabbit Hole runs November 7th, 8th, 14th, and 15th at 8 p.m. and November 16th at 2 p.m.
It's part of the Hawthorne season of shows that's going on right now.
Yes.
And they're going to announce a new season, aren't they?
Yes, they already have it out.
Do
Yeah.
they? So if you come to this show, you'll be the first wave of people to be in the know
Yes.
about what the season ticket will involve.
Oh, yes. They'll
Yeah.
tell them all about it.
It's a very fair price. It's a great organization. They do top drawer material. This is an important piece that's not done that often. I don't see it done that often, and I'm proud of the Hawthorne Players for taking it on. The Rabbit Hole, Pulitzer Prize winning show coming up in the month of November.
Get your tickets now.
There you go. Get them early and get in line for the Rabbit Hole. Going to be there in the month of November. Thanks again, Trish, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the staff, Dan.
Thank you.
Good to
Gary.
meet
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Good luck with this show, especially. We're going to move on to the calendar of events. We cannot go in depth with every show that comes online or in the theater, but we sure can give you a rundown of it on the next segment. So hang in there. We'll be right back. And now on to the calendar of events. The Florissant Fine Arts Council continues their series with Flipside, the Patty Page story, in the month of November. It's from KMP Artist in Austin, Texas. November the 22nd at 8 p.m. is the showtime. That's on a Saturday evening. $28 for adults, $26 for students and seniors. Flipside, again, the Patty Page story, won 18 national awards at the Kennedy Center Honors. It's a musical celebration of her rise to stardom. Flipside takes audiences on a well-conceived journey to 1965 in a place that used to be KTUL radio station. Written from interviews by and for Miss Page, this show features 28 of her greatest hits, including songs like The Tennessee Waltz, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, Mockingbird Hill, and many, many more. I don't know about you, but my parents were big fans of Patty Page, and I'm sure many of you in the audience were. Come and see this great star recreated on our stage live. Also, great musical accompaniment for this show live. The city of Florissant has their Thanksgiving special after that. TheaterWorks USA is back from New York, live professional family theater with Click, Clack, Moo. Cows that type, hens on strike, who ever heard of such a thing? Farmer Brown cries out. When his granddaughter Jenny comes for a visit, Farmer Brown declares the farm a tech-free zone. You know, she's on the internet all the time. He confiscates her laptop in the coal barn, along with the shivering cows who use her computer to type messages requesting blankets because they're too cold. No way, says Farmer Brown, no blankets, so the cows go on strike. And so do the chickens. They join them in solidarity. No milk, no eggs, what's next? Give in to the animals' demands? Oh, you better not. Jenny get her computer back? I don't know. Everything is very hilarious and moving in this Thanksgiving special. And it's based on a Caldecott honor book that your child can read before you come to the theater by Doreen Cronin and Betsy Lewin. Again, Click Clack Moo has fair prices too because it's our Thanksgiving special. Usually a $7 show. We sell it to everybody for $5 25. And for group rates, for scouts, we go down to $3.75 a ticket. That's another 25% off. You know, we just want to fill the seats. We're not trying to make money on this. We just want to break even. So come out and enjoy the Thanksgiving special. That is the Sunday before Thanksgiving, November the 23rd, and the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. And it's also in November on the 28th and 29th. All three of these shows are matinees only at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Make that reservation because this one's sure to possibly sell out. We'd also like to tell you that we have the Florissant Barbershoppers returning in the month of December with a little bit of Christmas. That's their annual holiday show, one night only on Friday, December the 5th at 7:30 p.m. $6 to all. It's rich in the melodies of Christmas. And again, the chorus presents an evening of outstanding music. You like barbershop music, you like Christmas, you can't go wrong here. And actually, 2 high school choruses will also join them on stage. It's the Men of Harmony from Florissant providing Christmas cheer with a little bit of Christmas, and that's December the 5th again, 7:30 p.m. The St. Louis Brass Band comes in right after that on a Sunday with their Holiday Spectacular. That's on December the 7th on that Sunday, 2:30 in the afternoon matinee, $7 for adults, $5 for seniors and students, and it is all about the holidays with great brass. Florissant Fine Arts Council presents the Standards in Jazz Christmas Concert. That's going to be remembering Russ Gentilini. For many years, Russ Gentilini was the DJ on WIBV, KSHE, WZQZ. He was a regular on the air and he had a great jazz show. He came out and also was an MC at a lot of big band events here we had at the Florissant Civic Center Theater. Actually, this is the second presentation honoring Russ Gentile's memory, and some of the fans that he's made along the way will be here. They're musicians playing in this orchestra. Standards and Jazz is our way of recognizing this great talent, Russ Gentile, and he's going to be honored in a second. This is the second show honoring him. The first was at the University of Illinois, or I'm sorry, Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville. That was a first tribute to him. This is their second tribute. They've invited a lot of guest musicians in, so you'll want to be here. There'll be vocalists as well, providing a tribute to this homegrown national champion and force behind the growth and development of many professional jazz musicians in our area. They'll be coming back to pay tribute and thanks to him for a great life served in the radio industry. That's Saturday, December the 13th at 8 p.m., and it is part of our Florissant Fine Arts Council Applause series, just like the Patty Page story. You can still get part of that season ticket. 5, 6, 7 shows actually are left, and you can buy into that season ticket depending on when you join us for the rest of the season. It's still a better discount than buying them one at a time, but the tickets are available one at a time if you want to pay us a little extra. Again, that's $28 for adults, $26 for students and seniors if you buy them one at a time. Otherwise, talk to us about getting in late to that season ticket. The Northwinds Concert Band is here as well in the month of December, on December the 14th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a Sunday matinee again. They'll present their hometown holiday special for Christmas. This is a great holiday concert, and actually there's a few surprises. I even think Santa may show up at this one. They have a wonderful immediate family price too. Everybody in your household can get in for one price of $14. Don't have a whole household full sharing your house, then it's $8 for adults, $6 for seniors and students. Need more help with those? A lot of these tickets are on our website, www.florissantmo.com. Click on the theater portion and click on buy tickets online, and even when we're not in the box office, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can purchase those tickets. Otherwise, we're in the box office Monday through Friday with no service charge, selling tickets to you 9 to 5 Monday and Friday, 9 to 6 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The phone number is easy to remember, 314-921-5678. Got some great shows coming up in the rest of the Applause series. Don Knott's Daughter in the month of January, the Bald Knobbers from Branson, Missouri in January, Della's Diner, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, To Kill a Mockingbird. You know, you've got to think about buying that season ticket for sure. And then the Family Theater series rolls on all the way through the month of March as well. So, look forward to seeing you at your arts facility, the cultural hub of our community, the Florissant Civic Center Theater. Hope to see you there real soon.